it'll start saying, I don't know if I'm sideways here. I'll rotate the place. There we are. We are on. Yeah, I just got notified that I'm live. Takes a little bit for people to get going. It's Friday night, so I don't know if people are going to be up on here or not. If not, that's okay. They're missing out on the good stuff. Checking in, there's 2 people right there. Hello, Kyle. What's going on, baby? Benny here. Let's go, baby. We're going to break down each and every wild card game this weekend. We're going to talk DFS plays. I got my guy Womp here. I don't know if you guys remember Womp from the Phillies game. When we went to the Phillies game, he lays the hammer punch down. You get what I'm saying? He'll hammer punch your mama. Hey, if you got your kids with you, this one might, I don't know, this may get out of control here on this Friday night. So we're going to talk about every wild card game this weekend. We're going to get cracking. Got 8 people. It's enough. 8 is a party if you ask me. It's hot in here. So, again, Benny, Ghost Picks, ATS.com, the #1 sports consultant in the business. Travis, what's going on, my man? We're breaking down every game for the wild card this weekend. Let's get it. I don't care who's in here. They're missing out if they're not here, right? So we're going to talk totals. We're going to talk sides on each game. We're going to talk about DFS plays for each team in each game. My man's going to break his numbers down here. We're going to have to get a better setup for this. I feel like I'm just hugging my guy here. This is my guy, Womp, right here, baby.
How you doing?
They laid a hammer punch on your mama. He's a good DFS expert. He cashes. He shows results in daily fantasy sports, without a doubt. Member of Team Benny. Benny, Ghost Picks. And then we have, we're going to talk about Titans. We actually both like the Titans as well. So anyway, we got a wild card weekend. First off, is always very, very exciting. We have wild card weekend, divisional weekend is always exciting. This is my favorite time of the year. This is like Christmas for the Ben Dog, without a doubt. Womp feels the same way. He has a great jersey collection, by the way. NFL jerseys, like rack. Racks on racks on racks on racks of NFL jerseys. I'm surprised he's not wearing one right now. Who else we got in here, baby? I'm jacked up on coffee with the espresso. Let's go. Hey, right now, Ben Dog, 2020 Barbara Walters special, $200, 20 days of plays. Come get linked up with the Ben Dog. And got the weekend rolling. Hey, how about the Miami Heat? 6-point fourth quarter against the Orlando Magic. That just happened right now. Miami Heat, 6-point fourth quarter. What a bummer. What a bummer. So, first game on the slate would be Texans, Bills, Saturday. This one's going down on Saturday. We have some information here. We have DFS and we have sides. We have totals. We have trends. We got it all. We're going to just talk about it. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask my guy Womp. This is Womp. He is a member of Team Benny. It's hard to get us both in the screen right now. But anyway, Ravens Super Bowl bound. It's hard to bet against them. Hard to get a bet against them, Mr. John Oob. But, hey, be different. You know what I mean? Or maybe not be different. Maybe it'll just be Ravens, 49ers, over. We don't know. So, but we're going to try to find out. All right. Texans, Bills. This one's going down in H-Town, Houston. Shouts to my people in Houston. I know I got a couple clients from Houston. Do we like Deshaun Watson this week? First question of the day, right there. Boom. He's going to start giving you a little breakdown on DFS. We're going to talk Deshaun Watson. We're going to talk Josh Allen. We're going to talk DeAndre Hopkins. We're going to talk Will Fuller. We're going to talk people in, people out, what Bill O'Brien has to say. Lots of stuff right now. Anybody here, you're getting it. Anybody not here, they're missing out. Let's go, baby. Do we like Deshaun Watson? Is Deshaun Watson a start for DraftKings this week? What, do you have the price on him? Is he worth the price?
He is worth the price, $6,400. But Bill O'Brien says Will Fuller is a long shot to play. DeAndre Hopkins without Fuller averages 11 targets per game. That's a huge number, but Deshaun Watson's fantasy numbers go down without Will Fuller in the lineup. So, I mean, I like this game a lot. I really love the other side of it. John Brown is probably my favorite play on the slate.
And what's he running?
He is 6K, I believe.
So if you had to pick one player from this game on the wild card slate to plug into your lineup, to build a roster around,
I think it's Smokey Brown and Josh Allen. Yeah.
Smokey Brown and Josh Allen. So there you got the double dip right there. You got a Josh Allen, John Brown double dip. Okay. And we can start filling in around there. So for anybody who's watching right now, we do have, I mean, these are just possibilities right now for the first game of the wild card slate. We have 4 of them.
This is actually the lowest total on the slate, but I love this game. I love it. It's my favorite one probably. A trendful statistic is that John Brown and Josh Allen perform a lot better on the road than at home. I love them. I really love them this game. I think they're going to crush. I believe John Brown could be the highest scoring wide receiver on this slate.
So John Brown, here this is from my guy Womp, all right? So give Womp a round of applause. He's in the building. Anyway, so yes, what he's saying is that this could be one of the most valuable plays on the entire slate. Josh Allen, John Brown, wide receiver stack, quarterback stack. Okay. Now, as far as the game day breakdown, this is like a battle, right, of 2 teams that took week 17 off. We didn't see the Bills players on week 17. We didn't see Texans players on week 17. Buffalo lost to the New York Jets last week, and Houston was dominated by the Tennessee Titans, right? What up, Ariel? How you doing, my man? Ariel Ramon in the building. What it do? Let's get it going. Thumbs up in the video. Anybody here right now? We're going to talk about totals plays. We're going to talk about DFS plays. We are going to talk about side plays for every game on Wild Card weekend. We're going to see how it plays out. What I'm trying to do here is I'm going to provide information. We're gonna talk about our own picks, but you can also make your own decisions on your own picks if you so choose. And then for these DFS lineups, I also have this right here. I made it myself. I have a bracket, a handmade bracket. We're gonna talk about just first look teams going through the playoffs, chances, probabilities, all that type of stuff right there. So right now we're talking about Josh Allen and we're talking about John Brown. What about Cole Beasley?
Cole Beasley.
Talk to me about Cole Beasley right now.
I like Cole Beasley too. He's the Texans give it up over the middle. They really do. And Cole Beasley could be one of those sneaky plays at 5.6K, I believe. Not a lot of people are going to be on him because they're going to like John Brown, but a contrarian way to get different is to go Josh Allen plus Cole Beasley, maybe bringing it back with DeAndre Hopkins on the other side. I like DeAndre Hopkins too because he gets all those targets. Don't play Kenny Stills. I get it. Will Fuller's probably going to be out. An uptick in plays for Kenny Stills, but he is terrible. He is actually better with Will Fuller in the lineup. So just don't play Kenny Stills. Now watch him. He's going to go off for 3 touchdowns and 200 yards. So.
Yeah, that's usually how it works, right? So right now in the lineup, you have let me see something here. All right.
Singletary.
Let's talk about Devin Singletary as well. We're going through all the players, and then we're going to talk about breakdowns.
I love the Bills. I mean, I really love the Bills. Texans defense last 9 games has averaged 4.9 yards per carry and second most running back receiving yards, which bodes well for Singletary. He does it all since, let me see, he got back from injury probably week 12 or week 13. Frank Gore's dust. He's old. Don't play him. Seriously,
is Frank Gore gonna hawk any touchdowns from Devin Singletary this week?
It's unlikely. The only one who's going to be hawking them is Josh Allen, if anything, if they get to the red zone or wherever. Yeah. But I really like Singletary. He's cheap, 6K. Play him. Play all 3 of them. Stack them up. I think you could even play Josh Allen naked, meaning you could play Josh Allen by himself, but usually in tournaments, big tournaments, you want to stack him with somebody.
So you could play Josh Allen by himself naked, stack him up with John Brown or Cole Beasley if you're going that route, Devin Singletary, and then it'll leave you more room if you want to even bring it back with DeAndre Hopkins in the same game. So now quarterbacks this weekend. We have a lot of big name quarterbacks this weekend. We have Drew Brees. We have Kirk Cousins. We have Josh Allen. We have Deshaun Watson. And then we have Tom Brady on Sunday. On Saturday. We have Ryan Tannehill, I've guzzled the Ryan Tannehill gravy, and he took me very far. And then against my better judgment and against Womp's better judgment,
I was just going to say, why did he take you very far?
I pulled Ryan Tannehill out from my fantasy championship for Aaron Rodgers, and I lost my fantasy football championship. Choke job, big time choke job. So are we going to continue guzzling the Ryan Tannehill gravy? Josh Allen nude. Interesting. Wouldn't have thought of that. JJ Watt coming back, expecting a bust.
JJ Watt is playing on one arm. He came back sooner than he should be. He's just coming back because it's the playoffs. I wouldn't be surprised if he left early in this game with an injury.
There you have that. That answers that. Now, as far as the Texans, Bills. Two teams that took the week 17 off. And then in terms of against the spread, these teams are coming into the matchup in opposite directions. The Bills are 5-0-2 against the spread. Their last 7 as a road underdog this season. Okay. They're 3-0-1 against the spread. Their last 4 as a road underdog against teams with a winning record. All right. Now they're also 5-0-1 against the spread. Their last contests on turf. We're going down in H-Town. Now, on the other end of that, the Texans, 0-3-1 against the spread. Their last 4 games as a favorite overall. All right. And then 1-6 against the spread as a home favorite. They're also 0-2-2 against the spread. Their last 4 games on a Saturday. Now, the under is the 4-1 the last 5 games in this matchup. The under is also 6-1 their last 7 games for the Texans following a game where they conceded 30-plus points. So we had the Bills coming in as a road underdog in this playoff matchup, right? We're talking about Josh Allen. We're talking about Cole Beasley. We're talking about John Brown. We're talking about Devin Singletary. We're talking about these DFS plays. Is this enough to take the Bills to a victory against the Houston Texans in H-Town with J.J. Watt there? Whether he's healthy or not, they're bringing J.J. Watt back to motivate this team, get them pumped up. If he's out there, he's going to motivate these players to play well around him on the defensive side of the ball and the offensive side of the ball. We have a tough matchup going down for the first matchup in Wildcard weekend. We talk about, we got a Houston wins right here. Kyle Bogart. Womp. Do you have a play? Are you betting anybody? Are you betting any of these teams in this game?
I like the Bills. I really like the Bills.
Okay.
I think, Josh Allen is not a household name as of right now, but after tomorrow, I believe he will be.
Do you have your phone on your... Oh, there we go. Will Josh Allen be a household name after tomorrow? Will he take the Bills into the divisional round of the playoffs? You have your phone right on you right there, real quick. So, no, it will be close, but Houston wins. Oof. See, I don't know. I like the way Buffalo's been playing on the road myself. I will more than likely have a play on this game for the Ben Dog, but we can talk about it more all you want. We're going to break it down. We can make some play. How about the total? It was sitting at 42.5 at some point. Can you bring me up a new screen here real quick? I just need a new screen. Bang, bang, bang. I just want to check some lines here. Ba-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Whoa, Lux Boss. What it do, baby? Ben Dog. Ben emoji dog in the building. We're getting at it, baby. For anybody who's just tuning in now, this is my guy Womp. He is a member of Team Benny. He will hammer punch your mother. You may remember him from the Phillies game we were at a while back when the Ben Dog was rolling hot. Give me Bills plus the points and the Patriots. Is that what you're taking? Are you taking any more games?
I see a question about Dawson Knox up there,
too. Put it in there. I didn't see a question about
Dawson
Knox. Talk it.
I like Dawson Knox, too. He could be sneaky. We'll get to it later, but I don't think that Ertz is going to play. He has a lacerated kidney. I don't know what's going on with him. So Goddard is going to be chalk at 5,200. Perkins is going to be 2,900, and he actually scored more fantasy points last week than Goddard. So Perkins and Knox are both the same price. Perkins is going to be more popular, so you could play Dawson Knox to be contrarian.
So Dawson Knox for a sneaky play. One of those sneaky plays. Now, for a bigger tournament where you got to kind of maneuver in some of these players that not everybody's taking. You know, like a low play. Dawson Knox may be good in a tournament play.
Yes.
A sneaky play in a tournament play.
Absolutely. Like I said before, the Texans give it up over the middle. They give it up everywhere. They also rank 29th in raw pass yards and tied 24th in pass plays that go over 40+ yards.
By the way, give it up. This is my guy's first time on camera talking sports. We talk sports every single day. But I'm the only one who gets up here on the camera and does it. My man is stepping out. He is stepping out and he's getting on the camera. He said, enough is enough. I want to talk some sports as well. So give it up for my guy right here. Right now, the over-under, I'm seeing 43.5, 44 in some places, William Hill. I am seeing, let me see what FanDuel is offering right now. FanDuel, the over-under is set at 43.5, and we're still seeing we're now seeing Houston -2.5. So we're talking about, so this was opening up at -3 in favor of the Houston Texans. Now we're talking about -2.5 on FanDuel for the Houston Texans. That's less than a field goal. Will Houston beat the Buffalo Bills by a field goal? I've seen a couple comments in here. Buffalo Bills plus the points. I've seen some people in here saying Houston wins by a close one. It's tough. Houston has the home field advantage, right? Like I said, I'm more than likely going to have a play on this on my card tomorrow to kick off Wildcard weekend. Also, if you're interested, we have the Ghost Picks newsletter. It's really neat. It's something new. We're doing it. Jimmy started this. We have the Ghost Picks newsletter. It's $29.99. It's a full write-up on every game from Bryce, Jimmy, Benny. We're going to give you a totals play and a side play. It's going to be ranked in stars. So 5-star being the most confident, 2-star being the least confident, 1-star being the least confident, somewhere in between. It will be the confidence level. And you're going to get that for every game for Wildcard weekend. And if it goes good, we're going to do it again for divisional round weekend. And then we're going to do it again for championship weekend. And we'll do it again for the Super Bowl. And again, if this live show goes well, if people want more live content, I talked about making these changes. For 2020, we will see more of Team Benny. We will be introducing more of Team Benny. We may see the Notorious at some point. The guy doesn't like the camera. We're seeing my guy Womp right here. We have a couple members of Team Benny, quite a tight, close-knit circle, and we're here to make money. We're here to help you guys make money any way we can, and that's good. Thank you, Mr. John Noob. I know it's a little late tonight. My man had to put his baby to sleep. You get what I'm saying? So we're out here. 49ers Chiefs would be the most fun to watch, both play the same style. I mean, I'm an Andy Reid guy. We're going to talk about that game as well. We're going to talk about the Chiefs as well leading into the divisional round. We're going to talk about who we think they're going to be facing in the divisional round. But I'm an Andy Reid guy. If the Eagles get knocked out this weekend, I'm rooting for Andy Reid. There's no doubt about it. Andy Reid done great things in Philly, and he done great things in Philly while I was growing up. So I was used to seeing Philly there every year. NFC Championship. Now, could he get over the hump? No, he could not get over the hump. Hey, I got Terrell Owens to get in there on a bum in the ankle, and that helped us get over the hump, but it was not enough to stop the Patriots dynasty at that time. So I didn't see what that said, but it'll pop back up here in a second. But anyway, we're going to continue talking. Joe Anthony, how you doing, my man? Nice to hear you. I'm in the Benny Vortex. Love it. Yeah, Anaheim, baby. Big shouts to Anaheim. L.A. Lakers tonight. Braun. Anthony Davis. Well, who are you running in DFS tonight for basketball?
Oh, God. I'm everybody, but I like I love revenge narratives. I don't know what it is.
He's a narrative guy.
I am. I'm a narrative guy, and I really like Anthony Davis tonight. Really love him.
So we're building around. Okay, I feel like Will Fuller offers a lot. That's true. Will Fuller is huge being out. They were talking about, I was just watching some I think it was when Houston was getting blown out by somebody. Or Will Fuller come out of the game, he was injured, and they were talking about some numbers for Deshaun Watson with Will Fuller in the game, and it was like a drastic difference. You know, now DeAndre Hopkins, his numbers are going to go up. He's going to get receptions for sure. But the Texans as a whole, without Will Fuller, it's a big hurt. Without having Will Fuller, it is a big hurt for the Texans. I just saw a comment about the Bills' defense. The Bills' defense is rocking, okay? And the Bills' defense travels. So they may even be able to afford a little sloppy offensive play if it comes down to it. With that Bills defense, they need to come to play. They need to. There are some questions here about Bill O'Brien as well. They get into the playoffs. The Texans get into the playoffs for many years now, and Bill O'Brien has a hard time getting them to where they feel that they could be.
He always gets that early Saturday start.
That's right.
That boring first game. Gets knocked right out every time.
This happens every year. Bill O'Brien, they get the boring first game start, right?
This is my favorite game this year.
Okay, so this is his favorite game this year, but this is the boring game. This is the game where if people are going to tune into the playoffs who don't normally watch the playoffs, they're probably not going to look at the Texans and the Bills, right? It's going to get completely overlooked. Like I said, Josh Allen is not a household name, okay? The Bills are not really a fun team to watch. Harden has 65 fantasy points right now.
Great. I have him in my cash games.
Boom. My man plays a lot of cash games right here. Sorry, I'm reading the comments. So Bills, yeah, technically could be one of these boring type games, but we like it for DFS. My guy likes it for DFS here. I'm not as good as I gotta admit it. Like DFS, I like to play. I like to mess around with it. This guy does research on DFS. So when he shows me these results, I'm like, damn. All right. But he doesn't plays either. He makes me freaking, I ain't just giving you my plays. I'm not letting you cash my money. Yeah, he's that type of guy. Yeah. I'm not just giving you my DFS plays. What do I get out of it? Oh, yeah, right. And I can't do anything to him because he could just wham and hammer punch me right off the stool. You get what I'm saying? Ghost picks Benny in the building. Ghost picks ATS. Slamming Dunkin'. This is a shot of espresso, large coffee, 1 Splenda, 3 creams. I'm pounding it. I'm hyped up and I'm hot and I'm ready to go. We're talking about the Texans and the Bills. But yeah, Billy O'Brien gets his team to the playoffs. Something happens. They end up in the playoffs. They end up in the boring game. Billy O'Brien, he'll end up with the frowny face by the end of the game. The butt chin. The butt chin. He has the butt chin going on. So will he get over the hump for the H-Town fans at home this year? We gave a little breakdown. We gave the trends are just cruising in opposite direction in this, right? The Bills trends running hot lately. The Texans trends running not. Will we see Oppo or will we see it continue? Again, I have a play. The total is set at what? 43, did we just say right there?
43.5.
43.5 right now? Okay, so it's at 43.5. Now, with all these fantasy players, this is your favorite game for DFS and fantasy points, possibly. As far as value, as far as the numbers go, will the total carry over 43.5 points? With it being said that you like DeAndre Hopkins, you like Josh Allen, you like Devin Singletary, you like Cole Beasley, you like John Brown. Will these fantasy numbers translate into points, or will they just be stats? Will it be Cole Beasley 10 for 100 yards, no touchdowns? Will it be John Brown 6 for 135, no touchdowns? Will it be Josh Allen with a rushing touchdown? Will the total go over? The total has gone under in 6 of Houston's last 9 games and under in 5 of Buffalo's last 6 games. Will the total go over? Will it go under? I have this in the newsletter as well as far as a ranking, but it's a 1-star ranking. So it's tough. That's a tough one, right? In your opinion, will this total go over? Don't copy it off my stuff.
No.
Will it go over?
It's tough. It's really tough. I think it could go over, but it could be a push too. So I'm not. Like I said, I really love this game. I love the players in this game, but I don't know if they have enough to score the total is over. It's going to be tough.
I have a 1-star play on the under. in this game. I'm not 100% confident in the total in this game. I'm way more confident in my pick on the side of this game. I agree, Kyle. Like so right now I have a one like in that playoff thing that we're doing, that wild card newsletter for Ghost Picks. It's Bryce, it's Benny, it's Jimmy. We ranked a total play and a side play in stars from 1 to 5. Okay. Yeah, Scott. Sorry, buddy. Just whatever. It could be sugar. It could be Splenda. It could be sweet and low. I've done way worse stuff to my body than Splenda, probably. But anyway, it's gone. So in the confidence level for this over-under in the Bills and the Texans, I have a 1-star play on the under. At the time, it was 42.5. Now I think somebody said it was 43.5. It'll probably meet somewhere in the middle there, maybe 43 by the time the game starts. Who knows? So that's my confidence level as far as that play goes. But we're going to be done here. Do you have any more text? What about Carlos Hyde, Duke Johnson, Deshaun? We talked about Deshaun Watson. Obviously, he's going to cost more, but we did not talk about Texans running backs. Duke Johnson, Carlos Hyde. Do you have anything on them? Or is it? I know these guys are hit or miss. Carlos Hyde, Duke Johnson. Maybe they're going to get you something, and maybe they're not. And they're risky.
Yeah.
No matter what day of the week, doesn't matter if they have a great matchup or a terrible matchup. They are never a guarantee. You never know which one is going to go off. Do you have anything? Are you taking any shares in Carlos Hyde? Any shares in Duke Johnson?
I am taking some shares of Carlos Hyde, but I don't feel great about it.
Okay. He's
5.1K. He's a value. The Bills do give it up on the ground. But it's shaky. It's shaky. This is what I mean about Bill O'Brien. Duke Johnson is a boss. He is a total grinder. He kills it every time he touches the ball. He is like the most yards per pass attempt as a running back like ever or something or in the last year. They don't give him a chance. The one game he does give him a chance, he balls out. So, I mean, I'm worried that could happen, but 5.1K. They just keep riding Carlos Hyde. I don't know. He could get you, 95 yards, but he doesn't catch the ball. So he doesn't bode well for DraftKings purposes with the PPR site. So, I mean, he's just a value, I guess. I don't feel great about it, but I will have some shares.
One thing's for sure and two things for certain. Bill O'Brien does not get the job done in the playoffs. So maybe he should do something different. And maybe he should use Duke Johnson. If the guy balls out, give him the ball. All right. Now, with that being said, let's move on to the second game on Saturday night. Probably the one. Are you still talking about the Splenda? Yeah, Casey, for no doubt. Having faith in Bill O'Brien is scary. I mean, I don't want to take anything from Bill O'Brien. He's a great coach. He gets them to where they need to be, right? He's putting together a good team. He's under the Bill Belichick coaching tree. He knows what he's doing. But at the same time, how long are you going to continue to go doing the same thing and it not working without saying like, okay, this isn't working? Or if they get their foot on somebody's neck, can they step on their neck? Can they break their neck and get it done? Or are they going to let a team hang close and creep back in? But it's not all Bill Bryan. Like Deshaun Watson needs to put the team on his back. Like we saw an MVP caliber quarterback in Deshaun Watson go up against a team like the Ravens, right? Where we think that, these two guys are MVP caliber quarterbacks. Which one at that point in the season, we weren't sure that the Ravens were going to just start really rolling teams. Like we saw potential there, but we saw the potential in the Houston Texans as well. And then you see Deshaun Watson come out and he gets absolutely smacked in the mouth by the Ravens. Now he got hurt that game, but they crushed him. It was embarrassing. It was an embarrassing loss. I remember because I was on the Texans, because I was one of those people who thought Deshaun at the time was going to put a team on his back and roll. But instead, Lamar put the team on his back and crushed, and they have never looked back. And the Ravens obviously are the 1 seed, and the Texans are obviously the 4 seed.
Remember week one with the Texans and Saints?
The
field goal.
Oh yeah,
I mean that's what I mean. Deshaun Watson, he could be
absolutely. Henry, Michelle, Edelman, stack. All right,
we're on to that one.
It is time for D Watson to break out. We're waiting for it. Well, I've had him in my Dynasty Fantasy Football League 2 years now. I traded for him. Traded a good bit to get him. He had a good rookie year. And then last year he was injury plagued, maybe. I think he was injury plagued.
No, he came. I think he came back.
I can't remember anyway. Comes out this year. I expect a lot of him. He was top. Deshaun Watson was a very good quarterback in fantasy football this year, without a doubt. How it translates into real football, like he needs to be able to put that team on his back, break out, get over the hump, and carry them past the wild card round of the playoffs. They don't want the regular season counts to get you to where it really counts. The fans want to see playoff wins. They want to see a chance of getting to the Super Bowl. Everybody wants that shot of beating the New England Patriots. Will this be the year that the New England Patriots go down? And with that is a segue, my friends, right into the New England Patriots and the Tennessee Titans. Probably, I love this match. First off, I love this game. I love this matchup. I love everything about it. There's so much going on. Everybody is doubting Tom Brady. Once again, this happened last year. Everybody's doubting Tom Brady. Everyone thought last year, oh, Tom Brady, this is it. This is it. And then he goes and he crushes the Chargers. He crushes the team they played the next week. He crushes whoever. And then the next thing you know, they're in the Super Bowl. And they bring home another Super Bowl championship. It's sickening. It is sickening. He'll be the most winning champion person in the entire world if he's not already, if they do it again, right? But the question looms once again. What time is this game tomorrow night?
This is the late game, 8:30-ish?
All right, this is an 8:30 game tomorrow night. And the question once again looms. Is this the end of the Brady-led dominating AFC champions, right?
8:15.
8:15 game. Prime time. Brady, Julian Edelman, a big person we're going to talk about here. N'Keal Harry. Okay, we're going to talk about him. Rookie. Hasn't made much good, but he's been seeing targets. He's been seeing a little under 5 targets a game, I believe, the last couple weeks, something like that.
He had 7 last week.
7 last week, so he's averaging
his usage
somewhere.
Is up.
His usage is up. We're going to
talk
talk
about
about
anything with it.
Right now, he's not doing anything with it, but we're going to talk about the right. Does anybody have anything more to say about the Bills and the Texans? We're going to come back to it. We're going to loop back around, and we're going to talk about putting together a full DFS lineup, and we're going to go just do a recap of what we just talked about. But right now, we are Patriots. We are Tennessee Titans. We are guzzling the Ryan Tannehill gravy yet again. Go, 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 go. Yeah! So anyway, I'm excited. Wild Card weekend is like fucking Christmas for me. Yeah, I said it. So I hope your kids aren't watching, but it is. So while division weekend can sometimes even be better, we're going to be seeing games in Lambeau Field. We're going to be seeing games in Kansas City. We're going to be seeing cold weather games. We're going to see that if the Saints win, they're going to more than likely end up playing up in Lambeau, where we're going to have to play out of the freaking dome, man. And it's all because of the Green Bay coming back and winning against Detroit in week 17. But right now, Patriots, Titans, going down in Foxborough. And this is all happening because of Ryan Fitz magic. The Patriots are playing in Wild Card weekend for the first time in, I think, 10 years. Okay. Oh, there's a James White. James White, you're right. James White always shows up in the playoffs. I don't know how expensive he is on DraftKings.
5.7.
5.7, which
5.78.
I don't know where does that land in as far as value and
that's a good value with the running backs. Yeah.
James White is a playoff baller. Julian Edelman is an all-around baller. There's no doubt about it. If all else fails, Tom Brady will go to Julian Edelman all day long. Bill Belichick is no Nick Saban when it comes to his record versus defensive pupils who know him. I think they struggle versus the Titans. 24, I couldn't read the rest of that. Common sense, it is good to see you on the live feed. I love you, my friend. Anyway, Common Sense, big member Team Benny as well. So, all right, so the Fitzmagic-led Dolphins go into Foxborough on Sunday. All New England has to do is get the job done. And they're at home this weekend. They'd be and by at home, I mean on their couch watching to see who they play for the divisional weekend of the playoffs. But they're not. Fitzmagic drives down and he gives it. My guy called this. My guy called that he told me this last week. I didn't listen to him. I didn't have a play on it. But he said Miami Dolphins are going to go out there and that they are going to beat the New England Patriots on week 17. And I think we saw this. Did we see this last year or was it 2 years ago? I think it was either Miami or the Bills again or something like that.
Miami
it was a week
had
17.
that kickoff return.
It was some wild shit like that. So
running, I forget what, and Gronk was trying to, it was a kickoff.
That's right. All right.
Gronk was trying, it was 2 years ago.
So yeah, 2 years ago.
Last year,
so
last
we've seen
year,
it. Last year, whatever. We've seen this though before. So yeah, I don't know. We don't know because the way
he's just playing old.
he's just playing old, man.
He's a noodle arm.
He's just like an old champion with like all this bling bling all over his arms. So anyway, we saw Miami go in there and whoop up on the Patriots. So what are you done with it? What are you done with it? Done with what? The Splenda? Are you still talking about the Splenda, Scott? I put one Splenda in my coffee. Yeah, Brady never looked good when he scrambled, but he probably even looks worse right now. So this is the best chance and the best year for anybody to take down New England. But they still have to go out and play the game. And at any given time, there is this playoff switch that the Patriots have and that Bill Belichick has. I'm sure they're going to be motivated. Everybody here is talking about all right, Scott. So I apologize. I try not to curse on my stuff. That was the first time I ever said the F word on my video, by the way. And that's over a year of doing this on YouTube. So, now where was I? I keep getting sidetracked. Okay. So yeah, best chance for any team in the AFC this year to play. But when the switch comes on, there's a guy. Oh, the Jets. Oh, Danny. Poor Danny. I don't know who you are. Like, God bless you. The Jets. Maybe someday. Maybe if they start treating Le'Veon Bell the way he deserves to be treated. Are you going to use him or are you not going to use him? If you don't like him, don't play him.
Jamison Crowder had a good year.
Yeah, he did. Jamison Crowder, I benched him in my fantasy. I benched him in my fantasy championship too, and he scored whatever. God only knows. I don't know. I suck. So anyway, now we're going to talk DFS plays. I keep getting off topic here. But so anyway, at any time, Brady and Belichick can turn the playoff switch on and do it. They're still the defending champs. So until they get beat, it's hard to bet against them. You think like, oh, they're going to turn the switch on. But there's differences this year. So there's even differences from the beginning of the season to now. Okay, we saw like a Patriots defense that was playing well, right? They were the top fantasy defense in the league for the first half of the season.
They were like a running back too all year.
Oh yeah, they were like an RB2 all year. But at some point, I don't know what happened with the Patriots defense, but they're going down and like they're getting beat by teams and teams are putting up. Patriots have always been known to be a bend don't break defense for many, many years now. They will let you drive down the field, but you will not score touchdowns. You will score field goals. Okay? And that's it. But now, and they have one of the best corners in the game, without a doubt. Maybe the defensive player of the year. I heard primetime Deion Sanders talking about it.
Stephon Gilmore.
That's right. So they just get beat by Miami. Maybe the loss is a blessing. We don't know. But now you have a team coming in, Tennessee Titans, led by Ryan Tannehill, who they've gone through their struggles this year as well. We saw the Mariota struggles. Everyone's saying Tannehill, put Tannehill in. Give Tannehill a chance. Harden, 83 DFS points.
Yes.
Good golly, Miss Molly.
I was at a Sixers game where he scored 99 fantasy points that game. It was like January 31st, 2017, I believe. He kills them.
Do you have Jimmy's number in here? Ghost pick Jimmy's number in here. Here, I don't know. I don't go through your contacts. Send Ghost Picks Jimmy a text and tell him that we're live, baby. There he is. Ghost Picks Jimmy is in the building. The legend. Womp is in the building. He will hammer punch your mother, Jimmy. If your kid is in the building, get it out because we're going, we're not PG today, baby. We're hyped up. I'm sweating. I'm pounding coffee and we're ready to roll. This is Ghost Picks Benny live. This is my man, Womp from Team Benny. This is his first time on camera and we are rolling right now. We talked about the Bills. We talked about the Texans. Now we're talking about the Patriots and the Titans. We guzzling the Tannehill gravy. Now, all right, enough said. Let's get down to business. Patriots. Now we're talking about the struggles in Tennessee. Mariota, and their offense is inept. They cannot do anything. Tennessee cannot do anything with Mariota in the game, and they are forced to put Ryan Tannehill in the game. It's like they didn't want the guy to play. They didn't want Ryan Tannehill to play, so they finally put 290 in DFS for back. You the man, Kyle. Let's go, baby. So, get your brain. It's about time you get your brain on the camera, Ghost Picks, Jimmy says. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the information is there. The results are there. As far as DFS, we will be working more with DFS. This guy is not just DFS in football. He is DFS in NBA. He kills MLB. You want to talk Major League Baseball, daily fantasy sports during baseball season? That's your guy. Do you need to look no further? Period. It's it. The end. So anyway, Mariota struggles. They put Ryan Tannehill in. It's like they didn't want the guy to play. And then Ryan Tannehill gets in a couple games to get warmed up. And then the guy is unstoppable. Ryan Tannehill finally on a team that is going to coach him the right way. That's going to put him in the position to succeed. You see, all of a sudden you see A.J. Brown, a rookie, start emerging he's probably the best wide receiver in the entire NFL in the last quarter of the season. Without a doubt. Like, this guy has been balling out. A.J. Brown has been balling out. I have him on my dynasty team. Yeah, that's a humble brag, baby. But anyway, so now these guys, and then they have a defense. They have the Derrick Henry, probably the rushing leader of the season, who is a beast. He is a monster. He is like, if you put the two of us together, he's probably that big. His legs are freaking massive, and he just
244, 5, yeah, crazy.
It's ridiculous.
Just do me one favor. Google Derrick Henry teeth.
I don't even know what he's talking about.
Just Google his teeth.
Derrick Henry teeth. I don't
get a chance. Just do it.
I don't know. Yeah, he's almost as big as Jimmy. Yeah, Derrick Henry's almost as big as Jimmy. Yeah, so anyway, so DFS. Now, before we get into the actual game day breakdown, daily fantasy sports. So we talked about stacking Josh Allen, John Brown, Singletary, maybe a little Cole Beasley action, bringing it back with DeAndre Hopkins. What about Patriots players? What about Tennessee Titans players? What do you got for me?
All right. So as we all know, the Patriots defense is great. The Patriots defense over the last 5 games are letting running backs only average 3.5 yards per carry and TDs. But for the year, they are giving up the 11th most yards to running backs after first contact, which is great for Derrick Henry because he is first in that category. After first contact, Derrick Henry kills. I don't know what, he's a mammoth. He's a big guy. The only downfall that people are scared of him is because he doesn't catch passes, and that doesn't show results in DraftKings scoring. So he just gets it all on the ground. He has been killing it the past, 2 months, since November 7th or something like that. He hasn't had more than, he hasn't had less than 19 touches since November 3rd. He's a beast.
Now, I have a question. I'm going to throw something out there. Who on that Tennessee Titans offense is Bill Belichick going to take away? Will it be Derrick Henry? Will it be A.J. Brown? Or will it be both? Will they try? Who do you think they're going to try to take away? Do you think they're going to make Henry beat them? Do you think they're going to make Tannehill to A.J. Brown beat them? Do you think I'm sure we're going to see coverage from Gilmore all over A.J. Brown. Are they going to take that chance and try to shut down Henry and see if A.J. Brown can do well against Gilmore? What do you think? Do you think it's going to?
I think they're taking away Brown.
Okay, so is Derrick Henry a scary play? Or are you playing him with confidence
I'm not playing him with confidence because he is 8,200. He is
8,200, which is very risky against the Patriots defense. Without sure. Right there. I know it. Corey Davis, X factor.
I was just going to bring that up. Check out his games against the Patriots. For some reason, he absolutely destroys them. I don't know what it is, but he is a sneaky play. But the DFS community is a lot smarter now, and they will see that. So he is a value play at 3.8K.
Corey Davis is 3.8K.
Mm-hmm. Yes, he was the 5th round pick.
That's a child.
First round, 5th pick of the draft 2-3 years ago. So he has talent.
Oh no, he has talent. And like you said, this is one of those things, like these two teams have played each other many times before, and Corey Davis has had success against the New England Patriots. We've seen it. 3.8K is a child please. That is a child please. Like 3.8K, if you're looking to stack some big names in there, boom, there's your slot. There's your slide your Corey Davis in. 3.8K. Can't be, that's less than Beasley, that's less than, but again, he is not a guy who puts up numbers week to week. So you are taking that chance of it being a big bust. He could easily put up 0 points on Saturday, without a doubt. Derrick Henry, 8,200, very risky because of that fact. They are going up against the Patriots defense, but my guy just told you right here, he's playing him, but not with confidence. So of course he's going to have a couple shares of Derrick Henry in some lineups because he does a crap ton of lineups. Okay, but Derrick Henry, 8,200. He did just tell you that after contact, after that first hit, Derrick Henry does not go down. He keeps running and running and running and running, and he is not going to stop unless he gets hurt. And we're going to talk about Cook. We're going to talk about some of those guys coming up here very shortly. We can go all night on this. We're in 46 minutes, and we just beginning, baby. So, and Derrick Henry, like you said, does not catch the ball, which is a valuable asset in fantasy, especially on DraftKings, where you're getting a full point per reception for running backs and for tight ends and for wide receivers. So it is valuable. My brand, we all have our brand of player, right? That we like in fantasy football. I am the type of guy who likes the little shifty guys. Obviously, you got to have your studs. Everybody's always going to have their studs in fantasy football. But what about those pieces that you add in with them, right? I'm a Cole Beasley guy. I'm a Cole Beasley type of guy. Like, that's my brand. Like, I love the guys who are going to get you 10 catches for 80 yards. That's freaking 18 points, or 6 catches for 70 yards. That's a guaranteed. Their floor is high. Their ceiling might not be real high, but their floor is high. They're going to get you that consistent amount. The James Whites that we're going to see in this game, without a doubt. Sony Michel, I got a big one of these for Sony Michel because he screwed me all year long, and we talked about this. I heard Matt Berry talk about it. I heard a bunch of people talk about it that, second half of the season's coming. It's going to be cold. And they're going to start using Sony Michel more. And he stank. I put him in the waiver wire right where he belonged. What about Sony Michel going into this game right here?
The trend's there for him. The playoffs. The playoffs, you could stack them up with the Pats D. Get all those points from your defense and Sony Michel. After they get interceptions, if they do, then they just hand the ball off to Sony Michel. He gets 2 or 3 touchdowns, 70 yards. I don't know. Of course, I'm going to have him in a few. I do like him stacked up with the Pats D.
Tell these guys the significance of stacking a defense and a running back for anybody who might not know. Why do people do that? What is the benefits of that?
The benefit is shorter fields. So when the quarterback on the other side throws a pick, usually it could be, well, not usually, but most of the time it could be a shorter field. The next thing you know, they're handing it off to the running back, double points. And then
double points.
Yeah, and then another way you could do it is, when Tyreek Hill used to return to kicks, you could stack the defense with somebody like that too. So just trying to get all the points you can.
And it's always it's always beneficial. Well, not always, but there's exceptions. But to stack a running back with the same team's defense, and he talked about bringing it back with other players. Like, so we talked about stacking the Buffalo Bills and then bringing it back with DeAndre Hopkins.
That's to show if the game's close. That way, it could turn into a shootout.
Thank you. So that is bringing it back in case we don't know what some of the lingo is. So we'll stack one side and then we'll bring it back with another thing. Tyreek is man.
He's my brand.
That's his brand right here. We all have our brand of player. Tyreek is his brand. But I do recall you telling me the other day that you have a new brand of player or a new guy for your brand of fantasy football. I don't know if you want to talk about it.
AJ Brown. AJ Brown. I mean, Stephon Gilmore is going up against him. I just like AJ Brown. I mean, he could do nothing here. He's going against the best.
Oliver, what up, baby?
He's going against the best slot corner in the NFL. He's a shutdown corner, except when it comes to Devontae Parker and Corey Davis for some reason. But I just love AJ Brown. I'll play him every slate he's on. It doesn't matter who he's facing against. He's a rookie and he's killing it. So I really like AJ Brown. I mean, it could burn me. I'm not going to have a ton of them because he is very expensive. 7.4K is very expensive for him. I think he's
been one of the best receivers in the league in the last however many games.
I think he's the second most expensive receiver, if I'm not mistaken.
Probably. If you want to check it out, I'm going to talk real quick. Hey, we have a Ghost Picks newsletter. All right. $29.99. It's Jimmy, it's Bryce, it's Benny. We are giving a breakdown for every single game. We're going to give a play on the total and the side of every single wild card game this weekend. And so you're going to get everybody's take. You're going to get a write-up from Bryce on every game. You're going to get a write-up from Jimmy on every game. You're going to get a write-up from Benny on every game. And you're going to get the full breakdown. It's like reading a magazine. It's really neat. It's the first time we're ever doing something like this. Jimmy put a lot of work into this. We all put a lot of work into this, and it's really cool. I'm really excited about the direction that we're going with. I was talking, this is for anybody just joining in. I was talking about the changes that were going to be made on Team Benny and on Ghost Picks in general. Like, we're always looking to evolve to help you become better sports bettors and to help ourselves, continue to make money. Change is always good. We talked about changes earlier on my free play video, and we're going to be going live more. You're going to continue meeting members of Team Benny. The Benny Barbara Walters special, $200, 20 days of plays. That's 20 days. Yep. Team work always wins. 20 days of plays, $200 to kick off the New Year's. The Benny Barbara Walters special. It's linked all over the place. Let's get it. We're going to go back to the breakdown. We need to talk about Julian Edelman. We need to talk about Patriots players. We need to talk. Mom's like, give me Adrian Peterson, T.Y. All right. I don't know. All right. We need to talk about some of these key players. James White. All right. So we talked about A.J. Brown. We talked about Derrick Henry. Ryan Tannehill. I don't know how expensive he is. Where he's been balling.
Yeah.
Are you playing him?
6,300.
Are you playing him, or are the Patriots going to get after him?
I'm going to play him in a few. I mean, I play about 150 lineups a week. So
150 lineups. He's not 150 lineups a week.
So yeah, I'm going to have quite some shares of him. I would say about 25%. Maybe less. Probably 15%.
15% of Ryan Tannehill.
Yeah. I don't know, 150.
So we've guzzled that Ryan Tannehill gravy all year, or since he's been in there. Is this the week that maybe he comes back down to earth a little bit? I skeptical. I've seen a lot of comments in this live feed video right now that are saying that the Patriots defense is suspect right now. Mm-hmm. Are you going to play the Patriots defense? Are you playing a lot of them?
I'm gonna play some of them, definitely. I will not play Ryan Tannehill on the other end. If I am playing the Pats D, but I mean, it's gonna be tough. It's just a contrarian play. It's 4 games, so he's probably gonna be the lowest owned QB on the slate. If maybe with Cousins,
his price is high.
6,300. Yeah,
6,300.
I believe that's fourth or.
So
fifth.
You can get a Josh Allen for less.
No, for more. More, yeah. Josh Allen.
Allen for more, for 65, but for around near the same price, $200, maybe $200 difference. You can get a Josh Allen, who we know can run that ball in there, or Ryan Tannehill. I saw a comment in there saying that they can't play Ryan Tannehill. He had another trend he told me the other day about first-time quarterbacks. For quarterbacks in their first playoff appearance as a dog, are not too successful, right? We looked that up, and we verified that. First-time quarterbacks going into the playoffs, coming in as a dog, especially as a road dog, have not been successful in the playoffs. What is the line right now on that page? Does anybody have their shit up right now?
5.5.
It's at 5.5 right now.
44.5 total. Pats are projected to score 25. Titans 19.5.
So we have a 25 to 19.5 projected total score here. So, I have another confidence play here. Where like there's part of me that thinks that the Patriots are gonna just turn that switch on and maybe blow them out. But there's that part of me that really thinks that the Titans may be able to show up and hold this game within a field goal here. Like this, I like of all teams, I feel like if the Patriots can get by this matchup, they may have. They're familiar with the Chiefs. They're familiar with Baltimore. Baltimore will have to see them for a second time if Baltimore is in that spot when they get there. But right now, they're playing against Tennessee Titans, which is just like this. We don't know how this is going to go here. So, what up, Rez? What up, baby? We're going to talk about the No Loss Saints coming up for the NFC part of this segment of this game, Mr. Dan Semanchek. So, before we even talk about Patriots DFS players, let's talk a little bit about the game day breakdown about the 10. What's the line at 5.5 right now currently?
Yep.
FanDuel. All right, I don't know.
So.
But FanDuel I think has them at plus 5.5. So, are you taking the points with Tennessee? Are you laying the points with New England, or are you staying away from this game altogether as far as betting goes?
I am taking the points at 5.5.
Oh, there you go. Ballsy. Confidence level 1 to 5.
I have a parlay of the money line of the Bills and 5.5 of the Titans right now.
So he's going to parlay the Bills on the money line with the Tennessee Titans plus the points. Sick little parlay. There's a two-teamer. A little two-teamer, baby. So New England has to play Wildcard weekend for the first time in about 10 years, right? The home team and the favorite are 4-1 against the spread in the last 5 in this matchup between these two teams. The Titans are 1-4 against the spread their last 5 in New England, and they're 1-5 against the spread in their last 6 overall versus the Patriots. Okay? That's right. 20 days for $200, Jimmy, because I want to show people Ben Dog 2020. Everybody knows that I hit a bad streak there. All right? 20 days, $200. Get on now. I'm going to show you what I'm all about. Let's continue this breakdown. It's the Barbara Walters 2020 special. Dun, 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 dun. This is 2020, and I'm Barbara Walters. But anyway, so Titans are 1-4 against the spread their last 5 in New England, and 1-5 against the spread their last 6 overall versus the Patriots. Now, they did not have that Tannehill gravy. All right? Let's get that going. Let's get that term going. We're going to guzzle that Tannehill gravy. So, the over is 1-4 against the spread. Or 1-4 against the spread. The over is 1-4 the last 5 in the matchup when played in New England. Now, the over is currently set at what? Has it moved?
I don't know if it moved. It's 44.5 right now.
44.5, something like that.
It might have went down, actually.
So we have these players that you're talking about right now. Mm-hmm. Another question for you, just like with the Bills. Are these numbers just going to translate into fantasy points, or are they going to translate into overall points on the board? It went up. The line went up. I have some notes in front of me, but I don't have give me 1 sec. I can look it up here real quick. So is this going to translate into points, or is this going to translate into just fantasy stats, fantasy points?
Oh, I would avoid the under-overs on this one. But I do like, some of the plays here, some of the cheaper plays. We also didn't really talk about Edelman.
We're going to talk about all of them right now.
Okay.
So I just want to give a quick line went from 41 to 44.5 in most books now. Thank you, Jimmy, as I get this up here on my stuff. So I'm more than likely going to have a play in this game as well tomorrow. Okay? And it may very well be a play on the total. You can get my play on the total And you can get my play on the side of every single game, along with Bryce and along with Jimmy, for $29.99. It's the Ghost Picks newsletter. It's something new. I'm very excited about it. We're still going to break down every game right here for free. There's no doubt about that. But let me get a couple of these things up here. And right now we're going to talk about basically, we talked about do we have any, we talked about Corey Davis as an X factor for the Tennessee Titans. Are there any more sneaky plays for Tennessee that you would even give a look to? Besides Corey Davis, is there anybody else that you would even give a look as far as sneaky fantasy plays for the Tennessee Titans?
Dion Lewis revenge.
Lewis revenge.
Don't play him.
That's a joke. Don't do that.
Yeah, do not play
him. He's going to go off for 3 touchdowns.
Yeah.
But anyway.
maybe Jonnu Smith, contrarian.
Jonnu Smith. That's
3,800.
Tight ends have been awful this year, by the way. They've been very tough to get a good tight end for your fantasy football team.
Especially this week in DFS. It's
one
of the worst I've ever seen.
Well, it's looking like no Ertz.
Yeah.
So
that would be it maybe. Yeah.
So the total line is now 44.5 and the game line is now 5 in most places. I'm seeing it 5.5 on FanDuel. You're going with a 3-team 6-point teaser. Yeah. So now anyway, okay. So we're probably going to have a play on the total in the game. I'm gonna also give another free pick for this game. This is another somewhat low confidence play of mine, but I am going to take the Tennessee Titans plus the points. And if ever there is going to be a time that New England is going to get beat or have a close game, I think that this would be it in the wild card weekend. So on the rating from 1 to 5, I'm talking like a 1 or a 2 maybe. I'm going to lay a little money, I think, on Tennessee. Okay. So now with that being said, let's talk about New England Patriots players. We have Tom Brady. We have Julian Edelman. We talked a little bit about Sony Michel. We talked about James White being that guy who balls out in the playoffs. We're going to talk a little bit about N'Keal Harry, who's been getting a little more targets. Who else? Talking about the Patriots defense a lot. Okay. So give me a breakdown. Is there anybody that you're taking a lot of shares in as far as the New England Patriots? It's there. We know the talent is there.
It's there.
The price is probably there.
The price,
too.
Yeah. Actually, Tom Brady is the cheapest quarterback on the slate at 5.8.
I believe it, and rightfully so, the way that he has been performing on a fantasy level and on,
Julian Edelman claims that he's the healthiest he's been in a while. He is squaring up against Logan Ryan. He's a slot, and he's been torched all year. He has seen the most targets in the slot as a slot corner this year out of all the slot corners in the league. He's terrible, and he knows Julian Edelman. They played on the same team together, so he gives it up. If Edelman says he's healthy, you can play him at 6.5. I like him, definitely. He shows up for the playoffs. N'Keal Harry is a price play, 4.1. Like I said before, 7 targets last week. His usage has gone up. I think they kind of went away from Sanu. You could play Sanu at 3.9. I mean, he's Sanu, okay.
That's right.
Yeah, but it's basically Edelman. I like James White because he shows up. Brady is a price play.
The Patriots are going to look to exploit any weakness that the Tennessee Titans have.
Which is the slot.
Mm-hmm. Boom. So there we go, right there. So you have your fair share of. Yeah, we do have a little bit of love for Corey Davis, my man. We did talk a little bit about Corey Davis. He's only 3.8K, but he has had success against the New England Patriots, and they will need to find that person who can do it against the New England Patriots, because the New England Patriots will be looking to shut certain players down without a doubt. On defense, the question is, can they and will they? But so Julian Edelman, are you putting him in lineups with your Bills players or your DeAndre Hopkins, or is that too much money? Is it too much to slot in Julian Edelman with DeAndre Hopkins, or can you do it with the low price of the other Bills players that you're playing? Is it a good fit?
Yeah, it's a good fit. You could fit him in there. especially in the tournaments, we're going to get to it, but in cash games, the 50-50 double up head-to-heads, you're jamming in the Saints, and it's no other question. You know what I mean?
We're going to talk about the Saints.
We're going to talk about that when that comes up. But for tournaments and, 5,000 people tournaments, whatever, throw in some Edelman. He's going to be chalky, but no he's a good play if he says he's healthy. I mean, the last 3 weeks he's been total dust, but I think he's been hurt, and I think his snaps have been going down just because Belichick wanted him healthy for the playoffs.
No doubt. Is Brady hurt?
He's a noodle arm, and he's old. Yeah. I mean, he's probably beat up from the season. Of course.
And he is getting old, and it's the truth. And age, he can't. It's father time. That's the one thing that Brady can't beat. He might be able to beat everything else in this world, but he can't beat father time. He's already beaten it long enough, So it is eventually going to catch up. The over is 9-1. The last 11 Patriots Saturday games. Okay. And the over is 4-0 the last 4 Titan road games, and they're 9-1 in the last 10 overall Titan football games. Okay,
that's Tannehill for you.
That's Tannehill. That is the difference between when Mariota come out, Tannehill comes in. Patriots are 0-3 against the spread their last 3 as a home favorite, and they're 0-3 against the spread their last 3 against opponents with a winning record. They have not been playing too well, but this is the Patriots. This is the Patriots the playoff Patriots, which always gives you that big question mark. Every year you think, oh, this could be the year that they could get beat. And then they come out and then they don't get beat. So it doesn't matter how bad they're playing, you always have to be cautious. Going against Bill Belichick, you always have to be cautious going against Tom Brady. So do I 100% like the Tennessee Titans? No, I don't. I want to play the Tennessee Titans plus the points. I think it's a good play, but it's very risky. I'm not confident in that play, 100% confident. I do think, it's tough, but I do think that this game could be decided by a field goal in either direction. And there you have it. That's the New England Patriots and the Tennessee Titans, which now leads to EAGLES. Eagles! Saints
Vikings.
And the Vikings. They're the 1 o'clock. They're the 1 o'clock game. Saints Vikings 1-5. January 5th. We're going to talk Saints Vikings. Let's talk about Saints Vikings. Let's talk about Saints. 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 Who dat? Edelman, 2019 Super Bowl MVP. Just saying, no doubt about it. Edelman is he's my type of guy. I love Julian Edelman. I've watched a lot. I've watched and I've read a lot about Julian Edelman as a person, as a football player, and just the way he gets himself motivated, the way he's been Julian Edelman is an underdog guy. He wasn't supposed to be where he's at right now. Julian Edelman should not be in the NFL, let alone be Super Bowl MVP and doing all this stuff. It was very improbable for Julian Edelman to be where he's at right now. But he worked very hard. He found the spot that's right for him. He found a good coach. He found a good quarterback. He found a good team. He found a good camaraderie. And he excelled. And he put in that work. And he became a freaking monster. One of the best receivers in the NFL, without a doubt. Pound for pound, he's a baller. I love me some Julian Edelman, without a doubt. Saints, Vikings, early game, Sunday, fantasy points galore. Well, supposed to be. You get what I'm saying? So let's talk about the Saints. Let's talk about the Vikings. Who are we starting? Let's talk about, let's save the best for last. Let's talk about the Vikings right now. All right. So, by the way, the New Orleans Saints are coming into this one, and they're favored by a lot of points. Okay, they're laying a lot of points. It's down to 7.5. I saw it at 8. I don't know. Right now, I have on FanDuel, 7.5, 8, 7.5, 8. Some places. The Saints have been beaten by the NFL for 3 years now. Even including this year, we saw some very controversial calls in the Seahawks 49ers game that affected whether the Saints would be playing at home all the way through the playoffs, or whether they'd be playing wild card weekend, whether they had that bye or whether they didn't. If the 49ers lose that game, then they slot out and the Saints slot in, and then they're sitting on the couch as well. But it didn't go their way. We all saw what happened last year against the Vikings. We all saw what happened the year before that against whoever. Again, with the madness for the Saints, right? Drew Brees and Alvin Kamara were out for a good chunk of this season, and it seems like it has done Drew Brees a ton of good. Drew Brees has come back, and at first we were seeing Drew Brees getting back into the swing of things, and it's like, man, was Teddy Bridgewater leading this team better than Drew Brees? I've heard that. I've heard that being said. Man, the Saints look better with Teddy Bridgewater at quarterback. Now you're seeing the New Orleans Saints play like the New Orleans Saints that we expect to see. They're a team on a mission. You know, and again, they keep losing out to the NFL as a whole, which leaves more for them to prove. They have the chip on their shoulder. Saints went 13-3 on the year, but due to the controversial no calls in the Seahawks-Niners primetime game, the Niners are they held on to the bye. Saints dropped to the 3. So in this matchup, like we're talking about, Brees, he looks refreshed. Kamara looks good. He's rearing to go. The favorite is 5-1 against the spread in the last 6 meetings between these two teams. We have buku fantasy football plays in this game. Let's start. Dalvin Cook, Kirk Cousins, Stephon Diggs, Thielen, Irv Smith, Kyle Rudolph. Talk about it, baby.
All righty. Dalvin Cook, he's probably one of the best leverage plays on the slate, 7,800. 400 less than Henry, 400 to 200 more than Kamara. He's not going to get a lot of ownership. He says he's fully healthy. He says he's ready to go. The Saints defense is probably the best defense as for yards per carry, giving it up. They give up nothing barely. Them and the Eagles don't give up anything on the ground. But when it comes to passing running backs, it bodes well for Dalvin Cook. I like him a lot in this game.
He was showing me some of his lineups. He's Dalvin Cook all over the place for sure.
Yeah.
Jimbo on fire. Another good day for Jimmy. Let's go, baby. So I see a lot of comments in here saying Adam Thielen. He's been the missing piece for the Minnesota Vikings all year long. Diggs has had a very good season as a wide receiver. Now Thielen's going to be back in the mix. I see some comments in there. The Saints win if they stop Adam Thielen. Will they stop Adam Thielen? Have they had enough look of Adam Thielen? Are they studying up? Obviously, they're studying up on Adam Thielen. The Saints defense is no joke, by the way. They will play ball. They can play ball. We see the Saints defense out there smashing teams. Adam Thielen. Anything. I don't know his price or anything.
6,200.
6,200.
Yeah, 400 less than Diggs. He is a good play because who will be covering Diggs? I keep wanting to say Gilmore. Somebody help me out here. Who's the Lattimore? Marshawn Lattimore will be covering Stephon Diggs, but Stephon Diggs is one of the most efficient wide receivers in the league, and his route running is ridiculous. It's great.
And who was Marshawn Lattimore was the one covering him when he ran for the touchdown last year.
So here's a trend for fantasy purposes. The last 3 games against the Saints, Diggs posted a 6, 137-1, a 10, 191-1, a 7, 93-2, and Thielen's worst was a 6 for 67. I mean, I don't know.
Do we stack the 2 wide receivers?
You could.
Be
contrarian. Yep. Like I said, Michael Thomas is the best receiver in the league.
Do you bring it back with Michael Thomas?
Oh, of course. I mean, like I said with the Bills and everything, I'm talking about tournaments. When I'm talking about, I'm not talking about one lineup that I'm going to be using. I'm talking about all different lineups that I'll have out of my 150. So
150 lineups a weekend, my friends. Thomas is a monster.
Thomas is a monster. And especially if you're playing, like I said, like against your friends, 5-mans, 10-mans, 50-50. There's usually like a 25 single entry double up on DraftKings. I get into that. I get into the $5. And if you're doing 50-50s or double ups, make sure you get into the single entries. You don't want those sharps out there putting in 150 against your one or whatever,
sure.
because they'll get you.
They're gonna get you, and it's just the numbers for sure. Like you're gonna put your one single lineup in there, and everyone else is gonna be chucking in 50 lineups, 50 here, 50 here. Like they're gonna hit on you. They're gonna cash in on you.
Especially with tournaments, you'll see me in the three entry max, the 5 entry max, a single entry. I'll throw a couple in the millionaire maker because you have a chance to win $1 million. So of course I'm gonna throw in there.
It's like hitting the lottery.
Yeah, exactly. But you won't see me, dialing 150 in one single tournament. I'll have 150 lineups combined, but not in just one, entry fee tourney. So
we could for this whole wild card weekend, we can do Diggs, Thielen, Mike Thomas, same lineup.
You could,
and then you bring it back with a Corey Davis. Not bring it back with a team, but like you come back with like a cheap guy like a Corey Davis, or where do you cut down at? Quarterback Josh Allen. Do you stack Breeze up there? I'm sure he's high priced.
Yeah, he's 6,600.
Tell me about Kirk Cousins. Is he worth playing or no?
He's 6,100. He's absolutely horrendous in primetime games.
Horrendous, and I mean horrendous. Like there were a couple times this year where Kirk Cousins was playing Monday night or in prime time, and we faded him every week and we won. It was easy wins for Team Benny. They don't cover. They don't win in prime time. I don't know if this will be the week. But you can also check out the newsletter and find out for sure what I feel about the Saints game. I will most definitely be on this Saints game on Sunday. No doubt, without a doubt. All right.
But he is better indoors.
All right. Keep telling us. Talk about it.
Yeah.
Talk about it, baby.
Yeah. I mean, I don't have the stats in front of me right now, but he is a lot better indoors. You don't want him outside. He is indoors if you guys know anything about MLB daily fantasy baseball, Coors Field is the best spot to play, your players from because of the light air, the this, the that. We call the Superdome, the Coors Field of fantasy football. You know what I mean? So, you just load up everybody, stack it up, throw in some Irv Smith, I don't know.
Irv Smith or Rudolph?
Irv Smith, I think. Yeah, he's cheaper, the two, and he gets the same amount of looks.
End zone looks? What about end zone looks? Who does Kirk Cousins trust? Does he trust Irv Smith, or do we like Kyle Rudolph?
I mean, they're on the field the same amount, maybe 50% of the pass plays.
The truth of the matter is that he likes Dalvin Cook, he likes Stephon Diggs, he likes Adam Thielen, and then obviously if he can get it in there to Irv Smith and
Adam Thielen's going to be contrarian. Nobody's going to play him.
Yeah, he's been hurt. He's still hurt.
I think he had the last 3 games he's been back. It's something crazy like 3 for 12.
Yeah, no, it's been bad. Yeah, for sure. As a matter of fact, probably most people didn't even know he was playing. To tell you the truth, you don't hear about him.
Yeah,
This was a top 5 wide receiver last year.
Yep.
Maybe a top 3 wide receiver last year in fantasy football, and you have not heard his name at all.
Yeah, he's been.
I had him on one team along with Odell Beckham and a couple other guys who just straight out busted. It was a disaster of a year for me in that league. So, with that being said, Adam Thielen, Stephon Diggs. Now let's talk with the Saints. I know you've been chopping at the bit, drooling at the mouth, trying to talk about the Saints and their players. Mike Thomas, Drew Brees, Alvin Kamara, Latavius Murray. Who else? Traquan Smith. The tight ends. There's a ton of them in New Orleans. I don't know who to put. Jared Cook. Yeah, tons of people. Who do we like?
I don't have anything much to say about this. You know who to play. Brees, Kamara, Thomas, probably the best plays on the slate.
Can you stack those 3?
You can.
Is there a way to do it?
There is a way to do it.
Okay, tell me.
There is a way to do it.
Who else? Who could you put? If you were if you were playing Drew Brees, Alvin Kamara, and Mike Thomas, which it could be recommended, Jared Cook for the tight end even, tell me who could you put in around those players throughout this entire slate that could actually make this lineup work? Dallas Goedert, or lower. I don't know how much he costs, but tell me some low price guys.
Actually pretty expensive.
Yeah, because Ertz is not playing. Tell me some guys that you can play with Kamara, Brees, and Mike Thomas. We're not gonna. You guys already know about the Saints. These guys are going to ball out. The big 3 right there. They're going to ball out. Jared Cook has been very good with Drew Brees back, but I want to know if you're going to be able to play those 3 guys, now obviously you're banking on those 3 guys being well. I probably won't play them because I feel like I black cloud people all the time. So I don't know. I probably won't even play any DFS this week, to tell you the truth. I don't know. So, but who can we play with Mike Thomas, Drew Brees, and Alvin Kamara? That Nick Klimo is 3,100. But anyway, all right. I'm choking. That one got me choking. God. Oh, man. Who can we play for cheap with Drew Brees, Alvin Kamara, and Mike Thomas?
Let me see. Yeah, Taysom Hill, he's a quarterback, though. If you're playing FanDuel, I believe he's a tight end. Or in the showdown, if you do any showdowns, play Taysom Hill, especially on an island game like that. Or on a primetime game, because he always crushes everybody's hopes and dreams. And
so is he
goes
listed
off.
as a quarterback and stuff?
In DraftKings, he is. Yeah. But he's a tight end on FanDuel, so you could play and be sneaky there. If you're playing all 3 of those guys, I believe you could probably fit in... let me see here. Cole Beasley or John Brown or Devin Singletary, but the cheap guy is probably going to be if Ertz is ultimately ruled out, probably Joshua Perkins at tight end, and you could probably double stack tight end with Goddard. So yeah, that's who I would probably be using, or Corey Davis. Davis. Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. Pricing is tight.
Is putting a guy like Corey Davis in there at 3,800, is that enough to counter the high price of Kamara, Thomas, and Drew Brees? Or do you need, how many low price?
You might need 2 and a cheaper, the Texans defense.
So is Cole Beasley, John Brown, and are they cheap enough to like start putting in there with these guys? Obviously, if you're playing Thomas, or what about Latavius Murray? Can you put Latavius Murray in there as a touchdown hawk?
Yeah,
is that risky?
That's sneaky. That's
sneaky or risky or what?
It's contrarian. I mean, Vikings have been giving it up on the ground a lot lately. You could play. I don't have any Latavius Murray right now, but it is sneaky because he is the biggest touchdown vulture you could ever see. Or ever. He's a touchdown vulture. He takes everybody's touchdowns they want.
And every once in a while, you may see him bust off a big one, like a lucky big one. But what about Traquan?
Traquan
Smith.
Yeah, if you're playing any of those cheap receivers, I think
that's boom or bust, like without a doubt. 0 or 10, that's Shadow trying to get it.
He's been out snapping Ted Ginn lately. Ted Ginn's dust. Now that I said that, he's going to catch a 94-yard touchdown
Ted Ginn, 90-yard touchdown. You heard it here first, folks.
Yep. But yeah, if you're going to play any of those cheap guys, play Traquan.
So anyway, the Vikings are 1-6 against the spread their last 7 as a road underdog. Vikings are also 1-5 against the spread their last 6 head-to-head against the Saints. This matchup tends to go over, going 8-3 over to the over in the last 11 games these two teams played. However, 2 good defenses, right? We have a Saints team that likes to run the ball. Like we've seen Drew Brees airing it out lately. The over and under was set. It's currently it was 48.5.
49.5 now, I think.
Yeah, I think it's gone up as well. We are seeing it at 49.5 right now. So are we going to see points in this game? Are we going to see fantasy points? Are we going to see this go over the total? 50 points is a lot. Okay? Are we going to see it go under the 49.5? The trends, like the last times these two teams played, it goes over. What are the chances of this game going over?
The chances of this going over are very high. You're going to see a lot of fantasy points. We really didn't talk about Jared Cook.
Talk about him.
Jared Cook is going to be the contrarian tight end.
Keep talking about him. I'm going to say hello to my dog.
Jared Cook is the contrarian tight end on this slate. He's 4,900. They're going to be without the Kendrick, I forget his first name, the Minnesota Vikings linebacker on the other side. He has an injury to his calf, I think. So he'll be covering Jared Cook. There you go. Yeah, play him. And especially if Ertz is out, you're definitely going to want to play Goddard too. He is 5,200. Cook is 300 less, and he'll be probably 20% less owned than Goddard if Ertz is ultimately ruled out. So yeah, like I said, that Kendrick is going to be limited it on the other side. So Jared Cook gets the gets the best target, the most valuable targets you could ever get from a quarterback. His ADOT is awesome. If you don't know what ADOT is, it's average depth of target. I believe it's maybe like 10 to 12 yards per target. So yeah, he's been crushing lately. So I don't know where we're at next. I guess we'll be on the Eagles and the Seahawks. So the Eagles right now, they're our hometown team. Eagles are underdogs. 1.5 is a spread. 22 anytime close to it. Yep. And Michael Thomas too, and whoever's close. So the Eagles versus Seahawks. Ertz is very questionable. The Seahawks get destroyed by tight ends. It sets up well for Goddard, but he will be chalk at 5,200 if Ertz is ultimately out. But he could see 10 plus targets. Joshua Perkins is a sneaky guy. He's 2,900. Last week in some of my lineups, I actually faded Goddard and played Perkins at 2,500. He was literally 1% owned. He scored more fantasy points than Goddard at 4,700, I think he was last week. And I won some money because I also played Ryan Fitzpatrick and Devontae Parker with Derrick Henry. So that's how my leagues went last week. So I did very well. So if you're definitely, like I said before, Seahawks get killed by the tight ends. You're playing Goddard, you're playing Perkins, and if he wants to talk about what he talks about here for a minute.
Are we talking Philly?
Yep.
And see, that was the true test, by the way. I left to go take care of my dog. I wanted to see if he could actually handle the show on his own, which he did. Here's a Ben Dog. Real quick, $200, 20 days of plays. Barbara Walters special. Dun, 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 dun. This is Barbara Walters 2020. Let's go. Philly, Seattle, Eagles, Eagles. Ain't nobody in the entire world thinks that the Eagles are going to win this game. And we're going to wrap this up here very soon. It's getting late. But anyway, nobody thinks that the Eagles are going to win this game. Currently, Seattle is laying laying 1.5. Over, under, I'm seeing it 45.5, 45 at some places. I'm going to have plays on all of these, and you can get them all in the Ghost Picks newsletter. It's $29.99. You got a write-up from Jimmy. You got a write-up from Benny. You got a write-up from Bryce on every single game, plus a play on the total, plus a play on the side for every single game from the 3 handicappers for only $29.99. The value is there. Come take a look at what we're working with. All right. It's very neat. It's like reading a magazine. All right. It's all there. And then you can even take the write-ups and make your own decisions. You don't have to go roll with the plays if you don't want to. There's a lot of good information in there that we're talking about. We're doing this breakdown now. There's more breakdown in the write-ups. Come get linked up with Ghost Picks, www.ghostpicksats.com. Get linked up with the winning crew. Jack has been really hot right now. Jack and Jimmy are running the duo for the weekend. They're killing it right now. I don't know what they're doing right now, as in tonight. And then we talked about changes being made here on Team Benny. You're going to see more of Benny here, Team Benny here. If we can get the Notorious up in here, we're going to get the Notorious up in here. And we got my man Womp here. And he's going to lay the hammer punch down on your mother. All right. So anyway, by the way, if you did miss this live show when we were in Philadelphia, like this guy, I watched him hammer punch a guy. He coming around, bam, hammer punched him in the face, and his knees buckled, and then he hit the ground like this. And then it was just like, I've never seen anything like it. I've never seen anybody get hit with a punch like that and to watch their knees buckle live and in person. It was scary to me. I thought the guy was going to die. But anyway, that's a long time ago. We don't roll like that anymore. We're just like, like doing our thing. We're like good guys.
Living the hashtag dad life.
Hashtag dad life, that kind of stuff. And, and if I hammer punch you, my knees might buckle. So anyway, let's go, baby. See, all right. So this is clearly the battle of the wounded warriors, right? Everybody is hurt on the Eagles. Everybody's hurt on Seattle. They had to bring back Marshawn Lynch, which may be a blessing for them. I don't know. He looked very good against the 49ers this week. Obviously, they got to get the old man rolling, like old man River here coming out. So anyway, the Eagles have had recent playoff success, but this is a different team. This is a different quarterback. We do not have Nick Foles right now. We have Carson Wentz. I was at the game live when Carson Wentz played Seattle during the season when there were 5 turnovers. I do believe I was the black cloud of that game. Like, I went there, I had fantasy football shares of Carson Wentz and Goddard. He had a fumble. It was the most embarrassing game. One of the most embarrassing games the Eagles had all year. It was very bad. Everyone in that stadium was saying, they were talking about burning Carson Wentz jerseys. They were talking about get Carson Wentz out of there. Get Doug Peterson out of there. Get rid of them. That's what they're talking about. This is a Super Bowl winning coach, and they're yelling to get rid of Doug Peterson. Now, a couple weeks later, as expected, as a sharp action play from Ghost Picks, I believe Derek had the sharp action play. He predicted that the Eagles were going to win the NFC East, and what do you know? They win the NFC East, and now they have a home playoff game against the same team that they had that embarrassing showing against the Seattle Seahawks. Every year around this time, the Philadelphia Eagles get this underdog chip on their shoulder in some way or another. Everybody's talking about the Eagles and Wentz. Everybody's talking about Doug Peterson. There is no Zach Ertz. Miles Sanders, I believe, is now probable to play. Like, he's expected to play. Zach Ertz, probably not. I don't think he's practiced at all. But Boston Scott, you've seen him show up. I don't know if you talked about this when I was gone, but with Miles Sanders playing, does that affect Boston Scott? Obviously, it affects him, but will Boston Scott still have a role? Has he earned a role in this offense? Is he cheap enough? Is he a good play for the Philadelphia Eagles or for a daily fantasy football lineup?
No, he's too expensive. He's 5,800.
Okay, so that shot his price up, which is no longer good, especially with Miles Sanders playing. Is Miles Sanders a good play back in the lineup?
He's going to be sneaky now. Everybody's going to be afraid to play him and he is 6,200. So I mean, he is kind of cheap for his production as of late. But I mean, and Seattle gives it up on the ground. He is going to be very, very sneaky.
What about Wentz? I don't know if you talked about this while I was gone.
No, I didn't really talk about Wentz. He probably will be, I would say, the 4th or 5th highest owned QB on the slate out of the 8, I'm thinking. So he could be sneaky, but his pass catchers won't be. You're going to have a chalky Goddard. You're going to have a chalky Perkins. And maybe even a chalky, what's his name, Ward at 5,200. But you could pair all 3 of them together. I mean, that would be sneaky. And throw in Sanders and then bring it back with.
And then you can add your Mike Thomas in there and all that other stuff. So.
Yeah.
Julius Randle, 39 DK points. What's the score of that Knicks game? Somebody tell me that score of the Knicks game, please. We're on the Knicks, as a matter of fact. I hope they're doing
Knicks
something.
are trying to stay undefeated for the new year.
Yeah, no doubt. All right, but anyway. All right, so the Eagles come out. Oh, Jesus. All right, anyway, so the Eagles get that chip on their shoulder. They get this underdog vibe. They get the whole city rolling. I'm going to get the best seat in the house, which is my couch, okay? All right, that's all right. All right, it's whatever. Back at it. So the favorite is 7-3 the last 10 against the spread in this matchup. We watched that embarrassing loss versus the Phillies. The Suns are up. All right, back to the wild card anyway. So the defenders tend to show up in these matchups. The under is 4-0 the last 4 games. The under is 8-2 the last 10 when the Seahawks are favored, and it's 8-1-1 the last 10 playoff games for the Eagles. I will have a play on this game. We are going to wrap this live show up. We're going to cut it short here. We got some other things to tend to. There's a baby at home, a brand new baby at home to tend to. He's a dad. Hashtag dad life. Come get linked up with the Ben Dog. Do you have any more things you want to say about any what Russell the Muscle?
Russell's a good play, 6,800. I mean, you know about Philly's defense. They're awful. So there is a play on the Seattle side that is very sneaky. There is a guy by the name of Malik Turner. He currently has a concussion and he might not play. David Moore.
Oh, David Moore was good for me last year.
Yes, he's the buy low air yard guy, 3,400, gets all the air yards. He averages 17.3 yards per attempt. He did play last week at 75% of the snaps and ran 39 routes, but only saw 2 targets. But with this Philly D, I think you could see some shares in my lineups with David Moore at 3,400.
Okay.
And you know about Metcalf and Lockett, play him if you could fit them.
If you can fit them. Mm-hmm. So, but they wouldn't be your first choice?
No, I think John Brown would be my first choice, then Michael Thomas.
Okay. Sounds good. So you like John Brown actually over, you're going to have more shares of John Brown than Michael Thomas at the price.
Probably because of the price, yeah.
Very interesting. Very interesting. So there you have it with John Brown there. A quick recap. We like John Brown, Cole Beasley, contrarian, Mike Thomas, the Saints guys, beasts, Dalvin Cook. We talked about it all. We covered it all. I will have a play in the game. Again, they said like nobody's banking on the Eagles in this game. Everybody and their mother is going to be on Seattle. We'll talk about that a little more going into Sunday. Do you have any more people you like?
Let me see here.
Before we wrap this up.
No, I mean, that Travis Homer on the other side, 5,300 running back. He sets up well for the DK scoring. He catches passes. Defense don't give up the run. They are like first in the league. They do not give up running yards for the running backs, but they do give up some pass yards. So he is going to be very sneaky. He'll probably be under 12% owned in big field GPP. So you could fire him up. Bring it back with Ward or Goddard or Perkins, whoever. In GPPs, you want to maximize everybody's ceilings by stacking it up. So game with the what you usually do is try to find a game with the highest total, stack it up. But for me, I like to go Texans Bills. That's the lowest total. I'm going to stack that one up because everybody's cheap, and I believe that game has the possibility of shooting out. Because everybody is going to be about 70% of lineups are going to have in cash games, especially, are going to have Breeze, Kamara, and Thomas in them. So a way to get different is playing the Texans in the Bills game, or Travis Homer, or Greg Ward or whatever.
Very interesting. And there you have it from my guy Womp. We're going to wrap it up. Big round of applause for Womp. This is the first time on camera. He's a big member of Team Benny. He's constantly contributing. And Vikings smell like Bourbon Street after Mardi Gras. Seattle will roll. Seattle is 5-0 against the spread their last 5 versus Philadelphia in general. We're most certainly going to have a play on that. Come get linked up with Ghost Picks ATS. You can get 20 days of plays for $200 with the Ben Dog. Barbara Walters special. It's posted all over the place. Or we have the newsletter. All right. And then we have a big wild card weekend. We're going to have the Saturday and Sunday package, the $50 weekend. We got a lot of stuff going on. Big shouts to Derek Dimes. Big shouts to Ghost Picks Jimmy. Big shouts to Ghost Picks Jack. Big shouts to Ghost Picks Bryce. Big shouts to the Notorious. Big shouts to my guy Womp. This is Benny checking out. And as always, good luck. God bless. Grind on, baby. Cheers.